Iosif Stalin, born Iosif Bessariones Zhugashvili in the Georgian town of Gori in December 1878, grew up in a modest and often harsh environment, the son of a cobbler and a washerwoman. His childhood was marked by poverty and abuse, which shaped his hardened personality, but he was a gifted student and eventually won a scholarship to the Tiflis Theological Seminary, where he first came into contact with revolutionary ideas and Marxist literature. Expelled from the seminary for his political activities, he became increasingly involved with underground groups opposing the Tsarist regime, taking part in strikes, organizing demonstrations, and engaging in so-called expropriations, armed robberies to fund the Bolshevik movement. After adopting the revolutionary name Stalin, meaning man of steel, he developed a reputation as a skilled organizer, though not initially a leading intellectual figure in the movement. Following the October Revolution of 1917, he rose steadily within the Bolshevik Party, becoming Commissar for Nationalities and later assuming important administrative roles during the Russian Civil War, where he gained experience in both political maneuvering and ruthless repression. In 1922, Stalin was appointed General Secretary of the Communist Party, a position many initially considered bureaucratic and secondary, but he used it to place loyalists in key positions and to build a vast network of influence that allowed him to dominate the party apparatus. After Lenin's death in 1924, a struggle for succession ensued, in which Stalin skillfully outmaneuvered rivals such as Trotsky, Zinoviev, and Kamenev, using propaganda, political alliances, and accusations of disloyalty until he emerged as the uncontested leader of the Soviet Union by the late 1920s. Once in power, Stalin embarked on a radical transformation of Soviet society, initiating forced collectivization of agriculture with the aim of modernizing farming and financing industrial growth. This policy led to widespread resistance, the destruction of crops and livestock, and famines that killed millions, especially in Ukraine during the Holodomor. At the same time, his ambitious five-year plans drove the rapid industrialization of the Soviet Union, turning it into a global industrial and military power, but at the expense of immense human suffering, with millions of workers subjected to harsh conditions, deportations, and imprisonment in the Gulag system of forced labor camps. Stalin's rule was also defined by an atmosphere of terror, especially during the Great Purge of the 1930s, when he ordered mass arrests, executions, and show trials to eliminate real or imagined opponents within the Communist Party, the military leadership, and across society, creating a culture of fear and absolute loyalty to his authority. When Nazi Germany launched Operation Barbarossa in 1941, Stalin was initially caught unprepared, but he quickly took control of the Soviet war effort, delivering speeches to inspire resistance and assuming the role of supreme commander. Despite devastating early losses, the Red Army, supported by immense sacrifices from the Soviet people, managed to turn the tide of war in battles such as Stalingrad and Kursk, eventually pushing German forces back and capturing Berlin in 1945. The victory came at a staggering cost, with over 20 million Soviet deaths, but it elevated the Soviet Union to the status of a superpower and secured Stalin's prestige as a wartime leader. In the aftermath of World War II, Stalin tightened his grip on Eastern Europe, installing communist governments loyal to Moscow and establishing what became known as the Eastern Bloc, which contributed to the division of the world during the Cold War. He pursued policies of reconstruction at home, continued heavy industrialization, and maintained a repressive system of censorship, secret police surveillance, and purges, while his paranoia deepened in his final years, marked by campaigns such as the Anti-Cosmopolitan Purge and the Doctor's Plot. Stalin died in March 1953. His death bringing relief to many who had lived in fear, yet also leaving the Soviet Union as a global power rivaling the United States. His legacy remains one of the most controversial in history, as he is remembered both as the architect of Soviet strength and modernization and as one of the most brutal dictators of the 20th century, whose policies and actions caused immense suffering, repression, and the deaths of millions of people under his rule.